All right, Bears, Vikings, interesting line movement during this game. We had the Vikings were dogs, then they flipped to fave, then they became -1.5. Then at kick, the Bears all of a sudden become -1.5. So market movement everywhere. I'm not sure what the sharp side is at this point. I guess the sharpest possible bet would be the sharpest possible bet, I guess, is Minnesota +1.5 and Chicago +1.5. Then you watch Downton Abbey or watch something else. So we're just going to watch watch the first half, maybe first quarter, something like that. We got some technical difficulties in the studio, but let's see what's going on here. All right, so yeah, like I said, technical difficulties, but we got it going. I gotta fix some stuff in the studio. So we're just going to pop on and do a quick look at Minnesota, Chicago. See how this goes. See what Ben Johnson can do with the Chicago offense. I tell you what, Detroit. Let me say this: Detroit, I think, was a bigger issue. Detroit losing their offensive line than Ben Johnson. The Salt Session, what's happening, man? How you doing? I think that was the big problem with Detroit yesterday. Like you lose, like Frank Ragnow and some of their offensive line, all of a sudden they can't run the football. Like that's not Ben Johnson leaving. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying Ben Johnson didn't do anything in Detroit, but I think Detroit's got bigger problems than Ben Johnson going to Chicago. All right, let's see here. Caleb Williams, 3rd and 5. So I have the Vikings -1.5. I'm not happy. Oh, there goes Caleb Williams escaping out of the back of the pocket, extending the play. What a throw. Oh, my God. Wow. That was an absolute rip. What a throw. Let's see. 1. I don't know. I guess so. Damn. What a throw and catch. That was crazy. What a play. Good, man. Who did love the game yesterday? We on the up and up. We the next Lions. I don't know for the next Lions. But we're on the up and up, I think. What a throw and catch. Man, that was crazy. I'm not going to say they should have reviewed it, but I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, I guess they kind of hurried up. Vikings going to win? I hope so. What's up, Face the Fan? What's happening, Chris? Hat is fire. I think it's Burley D. I'll send you a link, pal. Angel, how's it going? Justin reposted the stream. Nice. Brother James, good to see you. Thanks for all you do. Absolutely, man. Yeah, sorry we had some, if y'all are just tuning in, we had some difficulty in the studio, some technical difficulty. I got to get that ironed out. So we hopped on here. We'll watch a quarter, hang out, maybe a half or something, hang out, talk a little bit, and then I'll see what the hell is going on with the. I got a couple of interns I got to fire. So we're gonna be reading chat. So fire off questions, do all that fun stuff. I got the game pulled up. We obviously can't play the audio or the video of the game, or the NFL will cancel me. So. Bless, brother. Always a play. There you go. James, what % chance you get the Saints to win if Purdy is out? Good question. I think, I mean, if Purdy's out, I mean, I think the Saints, I'm not going to say the Saints should be favored, but you're talking about like George Kittle's out, Purdy's out. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? That's a lot happening. So I would think, the number moved already. If he is truly out, I think it's a 4-point-ish move, which would then put the line at like Saints +2, something like that. Which would then, if you did the projected win total or the projected win percentage or whatever, it'd be like in the 40s. So somewhere in there, 40-something %. Well, I mean, if Purdy's out, Kittle's out, like. The Saints, they have a better chance to beat the Niners than they did going into the Cardinals game. Damn, Caleb Williams is everywhere. Man, Caleb Williams looks like USC Caleb Williams on this drive. 2 big time. I mean, for a Vikings defense, that was the best defense in the NFL last year, to give up those 3rd down plays to Caleb Williams, that was. And I always talk about like scripted drives, like scripted possessions and scripted drives to start the game, you got to be kind of careful with like getting all fired up. Like just look at North Carolina last week, but those plays weren't scripted. Like the Caleb Williams extending the play, rolling out, doing all that stuff. He's not. Yeah, that's not a scripted play. That's just him extending it. Wow. Money Night Skrmetta over the Manning cast. Boom. There you go. What do we need to do to beat the Niners? Well, it depends on who's playing. If Brock Purdy is out, it's easy. You stop Christian McCaffrey. That's it. That's all they have. So now if Brock Purdy is playing, a little bit different because I think Brock Purdy is a really, really, really good player. But if Brock Purdy's out, I know Kittle's already been ruled out, but if all these guys are out for the Niners, all they can do is rely on Christian McCaffrey. And then it is contain McCaffrey, go from there. We lost Julian Blackman. Yeah, it was tough. Do we get a safety before the next game, like Peppers or maybe? I think we see Sanker. I mean, I don't think the answer is necessarily to rush out and make trades and give up capital and do all this stuff just to get a safety. Like if there's someone out there you can get for a 6th-round pick or a 5th-round pick who can play, fits the system, you get a couple years. Okay, maybe, but I'm certainly not like panicking and making moves. If there's a free agent or somebody that you think, okay, he can come in, do the job, fine. But yeah, I wouldn't do anything crazy. Should we trade for a cornerback 1? No, I don't think so. No, kind of the same answer. Like, what are you trading for? If you're trading for a cornerback 1, why? Like, what's the reason? Like, why would you trade for the cornerback 1? Do you think you can compete this year? Do you think you can win this year? Probably not, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't. I would just see what you got, do what you can do, draft somebody, whatever. But I wouldn't trade for a cornerback 1 unless like the Saints rattle off like 6-7 wins or something. But Marcus Williams. I mean, yeah, someone like that. Like, I mean, I've seen Jabril Peppers. Like, I've seen some of that talk. Like, okay, sure, like someone who's been moved off of and you can get him. Yeah, why not? Let's see. Honest thoughts on how Kool-Aid did. I think Kool-Aid struggles anytime Kool-Aid is asked to follow people around. Anytime he's asked to, basically play man, go, sideline to sideline. He seems to always be trailing, and that kind of makes sense. Like if you think about it, because then like that pattern match kind of zone system, you are kind of trailing these receivers, and you're jumping routes or whatever. And I think Kool-Aid just gets caught up in that too much when he's playing man, and especially against like big physical receivers like Marvin Harrison or Cortland Sutton, and he just gets kind of put on an island there, and that's just not where he needs to be. So something they're going to have to correct, but he is absolutely not. And we knew this going in. Like we knew Kool-Aid was not a stopper. He's not a Darrelle Revis, shut someone down. That's not what he's going to do. He needs to be able to play in this system at a super high level. That's it. Now Kool-Aid specifically fits our new defense. He is the perfect cornerback for our system. Problem is sometimes you do play man. Sometimes you get out of the system, right? Like you're not always doing the same thing. And I think right now he's kind of getting caught when basically when they can take a shot against him, they do. Is how it's looked. All right, first look at JJ McCarthy. This is a big question too. Like with Kevin O'Connell, how much of Sam Darnold's success last year was because of Kevin O'Connell? I think a lot. So if that's the case, then I think JJ McCarthy will be fine. Bigsby to the Eagles, yeah, that was crazy. How does it affect Saquon? I don't know if it affects Saquon too much. It might affect Will Shipley a little more, but yeah, I mean they just gave him up. That was wild. What was it for a 6th? James, how are you feeling about the Niners not having Jennings and Pot? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, some serious injuries for the 49ers. Dennis Allen defense, yep. Can Sanker fill in? Oh, yeah, he's going to have to. How much time do you have on the clock, James? I've got 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2, 1, 6 minutes. 5:59. 3rd and 4. They dropped. Let's see. But yeah, the 49ers, I mean, it's going to be crazy to see. I mean, it's only Monday, so a lot can happen between now and the game. But if Purdy's out, that's a huge, huge number. Ooh, McCarthy. Oh, good. Damn, that was almost a hell of an escape from McCarthy. We got to get the ball rolling against the Niners. What's happening, Jerry? How's it going, man? That wasn't bad for McCarthy stepping up. He got tripped up there, but good job stepping up. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get tripped, he probably gets the first down there. You know what Dennis Allen's going to do here, guys. You know Dennis Allen's going to rush with 4. He's going to play man on the outside. Like we know exactly what the Chicago defense is going to look like. Minnesota needs to stop here. You don't want JJ McCarthy's first start for you to be down 14-0 on the road. What's up, James? Happy to be able to catch a stream. Love the content, brother. Keep on going. Hey, thank you, man. Much appreciated. Besides the Blackman injury, everyone else seems to have gotten out of game 1 healthy. Hope we get Tulise Fuaga, I think, is day-to-day with a knee, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like, concerning, I guess. Yeah, hopefully Fuaga's good. Yeah, I mean, can't have. I think he entered week 1 with a knee injury, and I guess he just tweaked it or felt something, and well, from what I heard during the game is he was on the side, but he was on the sideline, but he didn't have like the medical staff around him or anything like that, which is a good sign. Will Chase be back next weekend? I would think so. Because, I mean, he was flirting with playing week 1, but with a calf injury, you don't want to risk that. So I would think Chase Young plays week 2. I'm excited to watch Nick Bosa against whichever tackle he goes against. I saw today Pro Football Focus put out their grades and all that, and Kelvin Banks was insane. He was really, really, really good. So that's a good sign. Alvin said Fuaga was good. So. Jeremy, what's up, dude? Hat's sick. Just got mine in this weekend. There you go. Yeah, I remember packing it up at the warehouse. Yeah, man. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, hats are sweet. I mean, as someone who wears a lot of hats, and I wear a lot of hats, these hats are legit. Like they're sweet. So they're sometimes you buy a hat and it's like doesn't fit right. Like I have a hat from Caesars. It was like a VIP, like a what the hell is their reward? I can't even think of it now. Man, what is their reward name? It was like the platinum or whatever Caesar's reward, and they gave me a hat, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna wear this all the time. I put it on, I looked like Doug Dimmadome. Like it was crazy. So some hats just don't fit. Wasn't the line 7 against the Niners? Already moved to 4.5. Yeah, Neil, Brock Purdy might not play, so the line is moving. Absolutely. How about this for a line? Speaking of lines, this line is insane. Cardinals, Panthers. The Cardinals were 6.5 point favorites in New Orleans. Okay, they're 6.5 point favorites at home against Carolina. So according to that, Carolina should be about 3-ish points better than the Saints. I don't know if anybody watched the Carolina game, but they were absolutely horrible. They're not 3 points better than anybody. Purchase your hat. JamesSkrmettaStore.com is the place. JamesSkrmettaStore.com. You can buy shirts, hats, mugs. You can buy all kind of stuff. We got the full collection up there. Man, if we don't beat Mac Jones as a quarterback, Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler is like season finale of Game of Thrones. Yeah, Kittle's out for like 3 to 5 weeks. Do you think the Miami Dolphins are near 32nd team in the NFL? Pretty close. I think the problem with the Dolphins is they have talent, but the talent doesn't want to be there. Like Tyreek Hill wants to be traded. They got, man, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is doing all kind of stuff. Wow. I mean, Caleb Williams looks like. I mean, put him in the USC jersey. He looks insane. But Miami, if Miami loses this week in a relatively embarrassing fashion, I would think they fired McDaniel. I mean, it's ugly over there. I think the Jets are probably. I mean, damn. I thought the Jets were the worst team in the NFL, but I mean, Miami honestly might be. Caleb Williams is cooking. Yeah, he looks real good right now. Listening to the national media takes on Carolina makes me feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Man, I was thinking the same thing today. I was listening to something, and they were talking about Bryce Young, and Warren Sharp was talking about how bad he's been. And, I've been saying Bryce Young's been horrible. Like I've been saying Bryce Young has not been good. We talk about it all the time. And Warren Sharp was laying it all out there, all the stuff that we talk about all the time. And the people on the show were like, wow, I didn't realize Bryce Young hasn't been that good. I never realized that. And it's like, what do you mean? What are you watching? He has not been good. He's been average-ish for about 2 games in his career. And people are like, oh, Bryce Young's freaking back. It's like, I don't know. How do you feel about Isaac Yiadom? Because I feel like Quincy should start so he could develop. I mean, I think I would like to see Quincy get some more reps, but I'm not there during practice. I'm not there. He's not playing for a reason. You know what I mean? So playing doesn't always equal development. Like in Madden or something, you play them, their attributes go up. It just is what it is. It's not always like that. So you got to think they're not playing him for a reason right now. Right, there's a hold. Good Lord. He was in the sleeper hold. Wow. I think they missed one there. Watch this. Let's see. Watch this. This looks like the damn $1 million dream. I think it's 73. Oh, no, it's 70. 70 had him. I liked Olave. I think Juwan was the right. I think that was the right throw. I mean, he put it right in his hand. I mean, it was a perfect throw from Spencer. Like that Juwan thing, perfect throw from Spencer. Put in, tough catch. You get 2 hands on it. Come down with that. Even if it's 50% of the time, you probably come down with that. So glad we don't have to listen to the so-called experts telling us that Bryce Young and the Panthers are going to... Man. Between the Panthers and the Falcons, it's every single offseason. It's like, oh, the Falcons are going to turn the corner. The Panthers are going to turn the corner. Oh, they're horrible. You know what's crazy about the Panthers? So we talked about it all offseason. The Panthers had the worst defense in the NFL last year. The only team in the NFL to give up 500 or more points, right? Horrible. Bring back the defensive coordinator. They gave up 180 yards rushing per game on average. I think it was last year, something like that. They gave up 200 yards rushing to the Jaguars. That's what I was saying. Like, okay, I'm hearing all this stuff about Bryce Young. I'm hearing all this stuff about Ted McMillan. I'm hearing all this stuff about Dave Canales. None of them play defense. Worst defense in the NFL. What are we doing? Brought back to DC. And then the first game, 200 yards rushing to the Jags, get absolutely rolled. Let's see. That was probably the worst throw of the night from Williams on the screen. Yeah, that was bad. 3rd and 2, just a 90-mile-an-hour splitter on a screen. Your TV is faster than mine. I'm in a commercial right now, so time to catch up. Great channel. Thank you, man. That was a breeze throw. It was a good throw. I mean, it was a good throw. It's hard to do a better throw, Rattler or Williams? I mean, I'd go with Caleb. Rattler had a window to Alvin on the front right pylon on the last play, but it seemed like a shot to Olave. Yeah, I think that was just I think he was getting some pressure or whatever, and he just threw it up. You got to get rid of it. Panthers fans were so upset on Instagram. Got my mug safe and secure. It took me a few minutes to get through the 50s. 57 layers of bubble wrap. Give the warehouse guy a raise. Yeah, man. I told the warehouse guy, listen, I don't want a single mug to be broken. I don't want a single mug to come back broken. And we've gone through the process, the wrapping process, the packing process, and whatnot. Yeah, I think we got it figured out. Did Sean Payton have a bad start on his first year in 06? Because if he did bad, that explains why Kellen might not be him right away. Sean Payton had a bad night Sunday. He coached a horrible game against the Titans. I don't know what Sean Payton was doing. The Panthers want to get rid of Leggett and Bryce Young. Yeah. I mean, here's a question. If the Dolphins told the Panthers, we'll trade you Tua straight up for Bryce Young, which team says no? I think both teams say no. I think the Dolphins say, we don't want Bryce Young. And I think the Panthers say, we don't want Tua's contract. I guess the Dolphins would say yes, just to offload the contract. Off the bench, looked at other quarterbacks for Spencer week 1. Spencer was pretty much middle of the pack. Yeah, he was exactly he was a little bit less than middle of the pack. He was like in that 20 to 25 range, which is fine. The team, the Saints overall, were bang average. I got a couple videos coming this week where we're going to really talk about some of those metrics and some of the, like, okay, how exactly did some people play? How exactly did Spencer Rattler play? How exactly did the team play? What was the EPA? We're going to do all of that in a video. I think it's going to come out maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then definitely Wednesday. If we end up with a 9th or 10th pick again, do you think we trade up for a quarterback? And if so, trade what/who? Man, a lot of variables there. If we end up 9th or 10th, it depends on which quarterbacks would be available at 9 or 10. If you have one available, you probably don't trade up. But if a stud is there at 6 or whatever, then yeah, you may trade up. It also depends on who's around you, because if teams are drafting ahead of you that want a quarterback, they're not going to trade down. So there's a lot of variables there. Should we be rooting for the Vikings to lose and then being pissed off going against Atlanta next weekend at home? No. I have the Vikings to win the game, so let's root for the Vikings. Help me feel better, James. I'm jealous of the play caller and the quarterback for the Bears. Did Ben Johnson win the Super Bowl last year as an offensive coordinator? Let's see. What do you think of us not using Vele more? I talked about this a little bit in a video that came out today, but I don't think Devon Vele is the difference in the game. I was kind of surprised he wasn't used more in some situations, especially like on like some of the fades, like some of the red zone fades and things like that we did to Shaheed. But I mean, I think he will be impactful. I think he absolutely has a place. I think he will be utilized, but I don't think it's like I don't think the reason we lost the game is because there wasn't enough Devon Vele usage. Process is the word of the season. Kellen believes in it, man. He's all about his due diligence. Radens? I thought Radens was really, really bad in the preseason. I mean, I'll have to look at the grades and all that stuff, but I didn't see anything we couldn't run the football very well, so maybe that's due to the guard play. But I'm gonna have to go back and look at the PFF stuff. Murray was 4th worst against the blitz last year, and his QBR against us when we blitzed yesterday was like 135.8. I'm ready for the NFC South roundtable. Spencer is better than Young. I think so. I actually was having that conversation today. Of, is Spencer Rattler better than Bryce Young? I think he is at least the same. Like, Bryce Young is not better than anybody. Bryce Young might be the 5th. No, he might be the 6th. Hear me out. Bryce Young might be the 6th best quarterback in the NFC South. You got Baker, you got Spencer, Tyler Shuck, Kirk Cousins, and Michael Penix, and then probably Bryce Young. That's crazy. I think the Saints can win next week. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we gotta wait and see if Brock Purdy goes out and stuff like that. But I believe we definitely see Shuck week 5. We start 0-4. What record keeps Rattler on the field? It depends on how he plays. Rattler was fine. I think Rattler was good. I think Rattler was totally fine. Totally fine. Rattler is the second best quarterback in the NFC South. Ref. There you go. I don't know if you can definitively say Rattler's better than Penix or Penix is better than Rattler, but I think they're probably right there. Like they're both better than Bryce Young. Do you think Kellen takes the training wheels off next week? I think he took the training wheels off this week. I mean, Rattler threw it 50 times. Arizona was in that too high shell. Arizona said, "We're not going to let you beat us deep," and Kellen said, "Okay, well, we're going to take the short to intermediate," which is kind of what you have to do. I mean, you can't throw it deep just to throw it deep, especially when the defense is, showing you they're going to try and stop that. I'm looking forward to next week. James, I think we beat the Giants, or the Niners next week. My Giants friend doesn't like the play calling and O-line on the team. Yeah, O-line's an issue with the Giants. O-line is a big issue. Shiloh at safety? I don't know about that. Rattler looked fine. Yeah, I thought he was fine. James, you're originally from Biloxi. Yeah, born and raised. There you go, McCarthy. Look at McCarthy scooting. Go ahead, son. Do you want to see them be more aggressive downfield? I really didn't have a problem with the play calling. I didn't have a problem with what they were doing. I didn't have an issue with I thought it was all kind of all right. Arizona did the exact same thing. Like both teams did the exact same thing, just kind of like short to intermediate, grind it out, kind of matriculate down the field. I think you take shots when they're there. You take shots when they're there. You set it up, but just to bomb it deep, I'm not really a fan of. $10, boom, from Edwin. James, I won't be surprised if this team gets settled fast as the season continues and starts winning. A lot of self-inflicted wounds that caused that loss, very similar to the 2017. I mean, you take away the penalties. Here's the deal. The game was complete, like as 50-50 as it could possibly get. The Saints and the Cardinals played like an identical game. And 50-50 game like that comes down to, a 50-50 ball to Juwan Johnson, basically, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled. So that's football. It could have went either way, and I think with as much as the Saints shot themselves in the foot during that game, I think it was all right. Gotcha. I'm from Gulfport. There you go. Where was Danny Stutzman? Yeah. I know Stutzman was barreling down on special teams. Him and Stallbird. I feel like we need to get Shaheed involved more. What do you have? 6 catches? Something like that. I enjoy you with TJ and Trizzy Trace. Yeah, there was a lot of fun. Those are good dudes. TJ and Trizzy, my guys. Those are good dudes. Good dudes. Let's see. Fuaga was his knee was a little banged up. Justin Jefferson with a uncharacteristic drop. Tough catch, but still he's got to have that. I mean, not even really a tough catch. Rattler never looked. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, Rattler, he was cool as a cucumber whole game. Even on the last drive, he was fine. Minnesota gets 3 on the board. I think the idea of just throwing deep just because you want a big play is overvalued. Defenses are taking a lot of that away. Yeah. You never want to waste a play, Do you think it's unfashionable for sports media to talk about the Saints in a positive light because they still hold a grudge over the 2009 NFC Championship game and the Favre thing? I do not. I don't think the NFL and the media has any kind of bias against the Saints at all, or any team. I don't think there's any team. I think sports media has a general bias positively to coastal teams, Los Angeles and New York, because most media companies are in New York or Los Angeles. So I think you get a lot of just inherent Jets fans, Giants fans, Yankees fans, whatever. So they may be a little biased that way, but I don't think they're negatively biased towards any team. 13 penalties is way too many. The conservative play calling is probably why it was so close. Yeah, I mean, but that's just kind of, that's kind of how the NFL is in a lot of ways now. It's very conservative. I mean, we talked about this, but once the Chiefs and the Bills and the Dolphins and teams like that just started bombing the ball, and defenses changed, and defenses went to that more conservative, too high shell, offenses had to become more conservative. And now you see much more of that grinded out, run the football, short to intermediate kind of offense. I think people don't realize that the penalties affected more to be very conservative. My guess, he had a different idea and adjusted the game state. Conservative. I don't know if conservative is the right word. I think Kellen. I think he kept things like safe, I guess, but it was a weird. It was a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, because you can only be so conservative when you're throwing it 50 times. There wasn't the deep shot, but I don't know if he was like. It's a little bit of like, yeah, it was conservative. Yeah, it was safe, but I don't know if it was like there was any times where it should have said, okay, now we got to start spinning it deep, like. And so if there was never really the opportunity to push the ball deep, are you really playing it conservative? You know what I'm saying? James, my son's name is going to be Drew St. James. Wow, what a name. Jesus, an unbelievable name. Do you think the Saints are grabbing a free agent? Yeah, yes. Yeah. I think the Taysom Hill contract rework, I think is I think that's what's going to happen. What about moving Kool-Aid to safety? No, no. You can't do all that. I think he's going to chill at cornerback. It's funny how everyone was talking about the Saints but praising Bryce Young and the Panthers. Yeah. All that Panthers love, man. That ended quick, huh? Cardinals ran 3 deep the whole game. Deep shot. Yeah, exactly. I just don't think it was there. And that's kind of what I was saying, is that if it's not there, are you actually playing conservative, or are you just kind of playing, you're just kind of doing what the game is allowing you to do? If it would have been there, I think he probably does push the ball downfield, but it just wasn't there. What do you think about the Saints no huddle? Rattler's pretty good playing in tempo. Pretty good playing in 2-minute no huddle. What I really like the Saints do is I really like how they go no huddle on third down and run the ball. Like on 3rd and 1, there was a few times where it was like 2nd and 10, then it would be 3rd and 1, and they'd go no huddle, run, pick up the first. I love that. Love that. Let's see what the Vikings do here. Man. Yeah, Caleb Williams is doing his thing. One bright spot was definitely the running game. Alvin looked true to form. McKendry ran well, and Devin Neal even picked up a few yards. And there was a few bright spots. I'll tell you another bright spot was the run defense. Held James Conner to under 4 yards to carry. Gave up one big run to Benson that was blown up in the backfield. It just kind of, how did it happen? It looked like a bit of a hold there. But I thought the run defense was pretty good. Also 5 sacks. You know what I mean? 5. I mean, I saw some people saying, yeah, we didn't have any pass rushes. Like, we had 5 sacks. What do you mean? Let's see. I bet Mac Jones is flustered, especially if Chase Young is back. The aggressive balls Spencer threw were to the middle of the field because that's where they wanted to test. Spencer, can he be accurate in the middle of the field? What did you think of the tush push coming to the Saints now? I thought it was ran pretty well. I mean, obviously we had a penalty and the false start and all that stuff, but I mean, I thought it looked all right. I was kind of surprised they didn't go back to it towards the end of the game, but I had some hesitancy if they were going to utilize it. Spencer isn't exactly the kind of quarterback you think of with the tush push, but the one time they used it, I thought was pretty good. Let's see. The Bills looked unstoppable last night. I'm almost scared to play them. You know what's so funny about that is like when it was 41-25 or whatever it was with 3 minutes left, my whole timeline was like Ravens Super Bowl, Ravens Super Bowl, Ravens are unstoppable, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, this team. And then immediately it's like Bills are the best team, Bills Super Bowl, Bills, Josh Allen, Ravens choke artist, Ravens can't do this. It's always funny to see the swings, like how fast the swings happen with in sports media. 2nd and 14. Man, Caleb is I cannot believe they're letting him extend plays like this. Like, this is what gets him into trouble, is when Caleb starts to hold on to the ball and feel like he's Superman and he takes bad sacks or whatever. And he's kind of falling into that in this game. He's kind of falling into, he's pulling the ball down, trying to extend the play, looking to create, taking way too long, but he's getting away with it. I mean, kudos. Taysom tush push. Yeah, but the problem with that is when's Taysom coming back? December? Saints line down to 4.5, open at 6.5. Purdy news. Yeah. There was a deep shot. It was intercepted. Or did Rattler know their penalty and saw it was a free play? Who knows? The world will never know. James, where's my controversial yet brave coffee mug? I need to get on. I need to get the merch team on it. Any input on the Chargers versus Chiefs? I think, it was 2 years ago on this channel. 2 years ago, I was like, Chiefs are done. I was like, you can't win with this team, or you can't win with this wide receiver group. I don't care how good Patrick Mahomes is. You can't win like this. You can't win with these wide receivers and this, and this, and the offense is stale and whatever. And they won the Super Bowl that year. But now it's kind of coming to fruition. Now it's kind of like the Chiefs offense, and it's only one game, but the Chiefs offense to me looked very stale. It was all Patrick Mahomes all the time. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't dominating, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't run the football. They don't have wide receivers. Like, I thought the Chiefs. This is controversial yet brave. I would not be surprised if the Chiefs missed the playoffs this year, and they're like the 3rd or 4th team in that division. Now, Bo Nix and the Broncos didn't look great, but the Chargers looked amazing. The Raiders look good. We'll see what the real Denver looks like, but, never wrong, just early. There you go, yeah. How do you think the Saints should go about practicing I think it's just week one. I think week one you have a lot of penalties, especially pre-snap stuff. We're seeing it in this game. Like, Chicago is having a ton of false starts. How many false starts has Chicago had already, right? Damn. 4th and 3, they go for it. Williams misses more. Yeah, he had him. He was open. Gutsy call there. I respect it though. I don't know if it would have been right. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's right though. You gotta think. You have JJ McCarthy. You have a rookie, or basically a rookie, in his first game on the other side. It's like, I think he might take the points there. I would love to see KC miss the playoffs. Yikes. I hope Philly beats them next week. So let me get this straight. We are the worst team in the league, but So let me get this straight. We are the worst team in the league, but I don't think the Bears are better than us. Do you think Ruiz is just bad in general, or just bad at being consistent? Very up and down. Very up and down for sure. I'm not convinced by Caleb. Caleb's good. He's very volatile. Very volatile player. Like, he's got some insane physical tools. Insane physical tools. Like the play earlier in the game where Caleb was rolling out and threw that missile to Romadunze to convert. I mean, that's a crazy throw, crazy play. But then you have that play on 4th and 3 where he misses a wide open guy. Send good juju to Romadunze and Aaron Jones. I need this parlay hit. Good luck. Speaking of Aaron Jones, word on the street is Jordan Mason is going to end up being the Vikings running back 1. So if y'all are, looking for some fantasy stuff, word on the street is Jordan Mason is going to take over. Caleb, he's different than Cam Newton. He's very different than Cam. Are you concerned with how Fuaga played? No, I'm much more concerned if he's injured. He went out with a knee injury. If he's healthy, I have no concerns about Fuaga. What do you think of Daniel Jones? Man, I'll tell you what, I might be the biggest Daniel Jones fan in the world. If y'all have been watching the channel for a long time, months ago, I said that Daniel Jones was going to beat out Anthony Richardson, and he would be the starter. I said that Daniel Jones is exactly what Shane Steichen wants in a quarterback, and I think Daniel Jones will play well. Daniel Jones played well the year Daboll kind of figured him out a little bit. I think Steichen's going to use him well. Now, we'll see, because I believe Indy plays the Broncos this week. So now all of a sudden, Daniel Jones has to do that against probably the best defense in the NFL. So we'll see. What's up, Crafty? How's it going, man? But wait, James, this is the year of the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers and can the Panthers and the Falcons play in the Super Bowl? How can that happen? John Mateer's been balling. Mateer has been balling. There was a throw, man. If y'all watched the Oklahoma-Michigan game, Mateer was in his own end zone, and he threw this out and up, kind of like a sluggo route almost to the sidelines while getting hit. Unbelievable throw. I looked back at that design quarterback run, and it could have been a 30-yard game, but Fuaga completely missed his block. Jones looked like Peyton. Let's see here. Whatever the reason, Williams had a more productive rookie season compared to Rattler. Don't compare the play calling for them. They are very different players. How do you feel about LSU? After when we broke down the LSU game, and I told whoever was listening, hey, you might want to go get LSU. I think at the time they were 13-1 to win the national championship after the Clemson game, and they immediately went down to 10-1. But I think LSU is probably one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the country. I mean, I think LSU as a national championship contender, I think makes a lot of sense. Man, that route drives me crazy. 3rd and 4, and you run a 3.5-yard route. Wasn't that to Jefferson? Was that Jefferson? Watch this. All right, you know the yard line. So sit down 1 yard further. You sit down 1 yard further, that's a first down. Troy Aikman just said the same thing. Yeah, I mean, you can't go for it here, but I hate those kind of routes, man. I can't stand that. I don't understand. The route is fine. Extended 1 yard. Horrific punt. Jesus. New Orleans East got love for it. Hey, man, appreciate that. Thank you, Jordan. Whit Weeks is the best linebacker in the country. I'll tell you what, man. Harold Perkins was flying all over the place against Clemson. Preaching the gospel. I hate it. I just don't get it. I don't get it, man. Fresh ESPN. I got you. I just don't understand you sit down in the route, you know what I mean? Sit down in the route 1 yard, 2 yard further, and you're good to go. Same thing on crossing routes. I think it was LSU did that. Yeah, LSU did that on one of the 4th downs against Clemson. It was a 4th and 3, and they run a 2 yard crossing route. They just run a 3 yard crossing route. James, if we draft in the top 10, what do you think the chances are that we draft a quarterback? Well, depends on, I mean, depends on how Spencer Rattler plays the rest of the year. Depends on if Tyler Shuck plays. Depends on how well he plays. Depends on which quarterbacks are in the top 10. Depends on who's drafting around us. Depends on which of those quarterbacks falls to us. Depends on a lot. Depends on who else is there. So, depends. Absolutely depends. There's a lot that goes into that. James, I'll be at the Dome for the first time ever in December versus the Panthers. There you go. Make sure you get you a Dome Dog, get you a Bloody Mary, get you a 50-50 split the pot tickets. Enjoy the day, man. Go to Champion Square early. It's a good time. What do you think a realistic stat line looks like for Rattler this year? I think he's probably gonna be in that 200 to 230 yard average. So you extrapolate that out, probably somewhere there. And that's if he plays every game. We could see Shuck. So we drafting a guard. I'm not really a fan of drafting guards in the first round unless you're like in the 20s or the 30s or whatever. I definitely wouldn't draft a guard in the top 10. That guard would have to be like the next Robert Gallery. $28 Bloody Mary. Well, if you get a single, it's a $20 Bloody Mary. But still, I definitely get your point there. Hey, speaking of, I didn't get one, but a guy I went to college with, I saw him at the game. He got a chicken sandwich and a thing of French fries. $18 chicken sandwich, didn't come with fries. The fries were $7. $25 chicken sandwich combo meal. Unbelievable. All right, big play there. Groupie can't, yeah, that was horrible. 3,400 yards is a lot. 3,400. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a 3,400 yard, 26 touchdown, 11 picks that would be a hell of a season. What's your thoughts on the Bills versus Ravens game? Insane game. One of the best games in a long time. Hard to imagine we see a better game than that. Really, 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 really fun game. I thought it was interesting. I tweeted this out, but did y'all see all the stuff about the Bills fans leaving? I thought it was kind of funny because, we were talking about that with the Saints game, and then in the night game with the MVP of the league in week 1 with arguably the best team in the NFL, you got fans leaving in a 2-possession game with 5 minutes left. Like, I don't know if fans are just becoming very like overly negative or whatever, or quick to kind of jump to, but man, like 2 possessions in today's NFL is not that much. So I thought it was interesting that Josh Allen, kind of called out the fans and said like, hey, guys, come on. Like, what are we doing here? We're playing. It's a Bills-Ravens. Bills-Ravens Sunday Night Football. You're going to leave early? Like, Jesus. Let's see. Souvenir cup. No, you don't get a souvenir cup. The Bloody Mary comes in a regular old plastic cup. Marlboro hat looks sharp. Thank you, man. The no filter hot takes. Like, this is what gets Caleb Williams in trouble. Man. Wow. See, like that right there, when he extends and takes a deeper sack or whatever, like that's what gets him in trouble. He almost got away with it there. But yeah, the no filter hat, man, on sale at the store, JamesSkrmettaStore.com. Got it in black too. I don't have one next to me in the studio, but yeah, I got the white option, the black option, got the face of the franchise hats, all kind of stuff. Any chance the Dome prices go down? This is the first time they raised them. This is the first time they raised them in seriously like 10 years. All right, Minnesota needs something here. But see guys, how I talk about like the early like scripted drives and all that stuff. Chicago's starting to bog down a little bit. Chicago looked really good in the first drive, second drive, and now they're kind of bogging down. They're kind of slowing down. Spencer Rattler will end the season with 4,000 yards is a lot. In today's NFL, because you got to check down. Like, that's the thing in today's NFL, you have to check down so much. Virgin Boy, let's go. 499 Bucks fan here. How much longer do you think Chris Olave will be able to play? Also, Ohio State fan, so I hate to see Olave get hurt. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy because Olave went to the tent, I think 3 times, but he came out and played all 3 times. So I don't know, they're just being cautious or whatever, but yeah, I mean, hopefully he's, injuries are random. They're hard to, hard to judge, but hopefully he can stay upright. So I think Sanker will start at safety. Rattler had a QBR of 40. Listen, take QBR, toss it out the window. Toss it out the window. QBR was created by ESPN because they wanted a metric. QBR was built. QBR was built by ESPN as their proprietary stat to like easily judge quarterback play. They don't even know what goes into QBR. Like, it's just kind of this weird blanket number that they can attach to box scores. PFF is not the end all be all, but I would much. I can show you a couple. Here, I'll show you a couple. Let me show you one. Show you one here. I tweeted this out. This is my boy Kevin Cole. Let's see. All right, is this up? Yeah. All right, so this is Kevin Cole. We talk about him all the time on Twitter, but this is the true, this is what QBR wants to be. So the bottom axis, x-axis, if you will, is the PFF offensive grade. Y-axis is EPA per play. EPA is points over average. And this kind of gives you a better look of what all the quarterbacks did. So Rattler, I would say a little bit below average, I guess, somewhere in there. But this right here, this tells you so much more than QBR grade. You know what I mean? All right, let me get back to the game cast here. Bada bing, bada boom. Yo, we are getting into the stats. Oh, yeah, Girthquake. You know how it is. We're going to be pulling up all the stats, the metrics, the bar charts, the graphs, everything. You know what? That should be this channel's mission, to figure out what the damn formula to QBR is. I heard people saying Kyler was elite. No. Kyler had a good game, but he wasn't elite by any means. PFF has some janky grade. Yeah. PFF's not the end all be all, but that chart I just showed was PFF blended with EPA. And anytime you blend, EPA can be kind of wonky too, but when you start blending DVOA, EPA, the PFF grades, you get more of a true look. Yeah, these offenses are starting to struggle now. They both agree Rattler was about average. Yeah. And if Rattler is average, that's more than what you're asking. We talked about Derek Carr last year. Derek Carr was probably around 20 to 21 as far as quarterback performance. So if Rattler can be 25, a little bit worse than Carr on average, or even 20 and just be Carr on average, hell yeah. Thank you for Shaheed over 2.5. Man, how easy was that? Crazy line. That was so easy. Yeah, Shaheed was easy. We cashed a lot of stuff. We cashed the Trey McBride props. We cashed the Shaheed props. So we had a lot of that. And we even said, and I hated to say it, but I even said take the Cardinals at 6, take the Saints at 7. And that landed right on the number. QBR never mattered. Yeah, it doesn't matter. QBR, all QBR is a stat that ESPN created and has like proprietary. It's their stat, so it makes them look like they've got data and they've got all this stuff, whatever. But yeah, QBR doesn't matter. You think Kellen Moore's scheme hurts Kamara? I'm interested to see. Good question. I was having that conversation with some people today. You know, like I don't know if it was just the game and just kind of the script and just kind of how it played out, or if that's going to be a thing moving forward. Like moving forward, is Kamara going to be less of the, the receiver, which I think would be crazy. I think it'd be crazy for, Kamara to not be utilized in the passing game. It was also his first game back. Like he didn't play at all in the preseason, didn't play at all, really during camp. So I don't know if they were trying to limit his usage. I don't know. But I would be surprised if Kamara was just completely absent from the passing game. How is Rattler supposed to get into a rhythm when the team is constantly shooting itself in the foot? Yeah, true. The penalties were brutal. PFF rank. Well, I mean, the rankings don't work when you only play, a certain amount of games. Like McCoy, McCoy's a good example of that. Like McCoy was like the 3rd or 4th ranked center on PFF, but it's like we played, a couple games. ESPN has been mostly unserious for a while now. Yeah, man, they're struggling. Ryan Clark is doing them no favors, I'll tell you that. Yeah, ESPN's got to figure something out. There's just too much. There's too much a la carte content now. It's too easy to find like true information. I mean, at your fingertips. Like on YouTube or Spotify or a podcast or just Googling it or whatever. Having to watch NFL Live or whatever. That's just not what it is anymore. Another false start, man. Chicago. But see, like what Chicago's doing, like Chicago, very similar to the Saints, where Ben Johnson is all, he's got all this innovation, he's all this pre-snap stuff, all this pre-snap motion, and you're seeing a lot of false starts, you're seeing a lot of penalties early. I think it's just putting that new plan into place early on in the season causes a lot of those penalties. I think that's something else that we do well on the channel. I think, and this is a little like, sidebar here, but if you just watch one team, it can kind of mess up your perception of what's going on. But just like watching the Bears, and you see all these penalties, and then you see it happen to the Saints, and you can kind of put 2 and 2 together, like, oh, okay, first year head coaches, young quarterbacks, new system, like, okay, I see what's going on here. But if you just watch the Saints and you don't have any of this context, then it's like, oh, well, the Saints are an undisciplined team. Kellen Moore is an undisciplined coach or whatever, So it's always good to kind of keep your eyes around the league, see what's going on around the league, and kind of use that as like a barometer of your analysis, I guess. really would like to win one of these next two. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If we gotta win one, we gotta win one of our first 3 games, because you just don't want to be 0-4. You don't want to just go 0-4. One win will do a lot for the team and the fan base and all that stuff. Man, this game is bad. Slow down. People judge things by their feelings too much instead of being objective. You don't like a player, he sucks despite objective metrics. Oh, you like a player, he's great. Yeah, true. True. Classic Saints story from the past seasons. The defense plays well enough to win, but the offense and special teams give the game away. Cat's out the bag. McCarthy is hot garbage. What is, let's see. You see Purdy's out. Is he out or is he doubtful / questionable? Last I saw, he was questionable. McCarthy being 4 for 7. 4 for 7 for 20 yards. Ay caramba. Ultimately, this league is a week-to-week league. Teams go out and have, yeah, 100%. 100%. If Rattler wins next week and pulls off the upset against the Seahawks, well, we play the Niners next week. Yeah, Purdy's question. Yeah. Rattler might be the best already the best quarterback of all time. Respect. Kittle out and Purdy might be out. Their backup is Mac Jones. Oh, yeah. What's crazy about Mac Jones and the Niners, when Mac Jones was coming out of college or going into the draft, me and my betting group had heard that the Niners were going to take Mac Jones at 3. And we placed a bunch of bets on Mac Jones to be drafted 3rd overall. The rumor is, now this is a little side story here. The rumor I heard, and I believe, is that they were going to draft Mac Jones 3rd overall. But the story got leaked or whatever, and the reception from the national media was that this was a huge reach. And it was a huge reach to take Mac Jones at 3 and whatever, and they couldn't do this, and who would take Mac Jones at 3, blah, blah, blah. Rumor is that public perception made the Niners get away from taking Mac Jones because they didn't want to be ridiculed. And so they didn't take Mac Jones at 3. And we all know, history. We all know what the Niners decided to do anyways, but it cost me a lot of money. What's your honest thought percentage of Brock Purdy playing? I have no idea. I don't know. Injury reports are as fugazi as it gets. Christian McCaffrey was not walking on Thursday. Doubtful on Friday, looked like an MVP on Sunday. I'll tell you what, man, Caleb Williams looks comfortable out there. He's always been erratic with his throws, he's always been a volatile passer, but he looks fine facing this defense. Rattler's opening drive as a starter was a fumble return for a touchdown in a game that was a blowout loss to the Bucks. There you go. Let's see what the Bears do here. If you're the Bears, you're thinking, all right, we kill the clock, we go on a drive here, we get some points. That's what you're thinking. You're thinking, get some points, go to the half. So they'll probably slow it down a little bit. Yeah, Caleb Williams has 4 rushes so far, and all 4 are broken plays where he just kind of got out of the pocket. But the Vikings are doing nothing on offense. 18 plays, 52 yards, 3 first downs. It's McCarthy's first game, yeah. McCarthy was a rookie last year, had meniscus surgery, missed the entire year. Rattler had a 77.3 PFF grade. Did he? That seems high. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, Kevin O'Connell's going to the locker room. Damn, that's wild. No, I don't want to complete my profile, PFF. PFF, what are you doing to me here? Let's see. Let's see. NFL player grades. Oh wait, this is, what is this? Trying to find it. PFF is not easy to navigate. Let's see, team stats, box score. How do I even do this? Spencer Rattler, player grades. Why are they making this so hard? Sorry guys, I'm trying to find the grades here. Are the grades not out? What's going on here? Recap, box score. Might not be out yet. Might not be out yet. I'll look at that. All right. PFF grades are hilarious. All right, field goal here. Ooh! Oh, it looked like one of my drives. The thing was slicing. Looks like one of my drives on the on a par 4. Santos was holding his breath for that one. Whew. All right. Yeah, I think Chicago's been way better. Way better in the first half. 7-point game, 10-3. McCarthy's done nothing. Minnesota just hadn't had the ball. Minnesota just hasn't done anything. Can you believe Groupie missed a field goal? Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah. Kittle is out. That seems bigger than Purdy. No. Man. Quarterback is way more important. Go to premium stats and search by player. Rattler was 72. Okay. Let's see. Premium stats. Let's see if we can find this. Premium stats. Search by player. Oh, wait. Here we go. Game reports. Offense. Yeah, there you go. Good call. There it is. Spencer Rattler, 77.3. Pretty damn good. Kelvin Banks, 69.1. Yeah, interesting. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Kyler Murray, 65.5. Trey McBride, 69.4. Yeah, Rattler, 77.3. Pretty sporty. Pretty sporty. Pretty sporty. All right. 19 seconds left. Let's see what KOC does. Let's see if he just does a draw, gets to the locker room. He's going to push it. All right. I like this from Kevin. Man, Joe Buck just said exactly what I said. Got to get out of bounds there. Got to get out of bounds there, brother. They get him out of bounds? I didn't think he was out of bounds, but you gotta get out of bounds. Oh yeah, what even close? Not even close. All right, so if you're Minnesota, If you are Minnesota, you have to throw the sidelines. If you are Chicago, you have to guard the sidelines. Now, if you're Minnesota, do you think, okay, well, we try and get something in the middle of the field because we know it's going to be open, run up, spike it, kick a field goal? Oh, they're just going to do it now. All right. Respect. Okay. This is insane. Man, why would you not run a play? Yeah, I would. This is crazy. If I was KOC, I would have for sure ran a play, try and get 5 yards. I mean, he just rolled out there and said, I'll take a 59-yarder with 10 seconds left on the first down. It's kind of wild. Got it? Got it. Kevin O'Connell, genius. Kevin O'Connell, smartest guy I've ever seen. Wow. That was crazy. That was crazy. Had it from about 62. Yeah, that was huge. That was huge right there for Minnesota. Gives JJ McCarthy a little bit of momentum, you know what I'm saying? Give it a little bit of momentum there. Who gets the ball? Who gets the ball to start the half? Let's see. So Chicago gets the... Yeah, that was huge. Chicago gets the ball at half. Yeah, this right here, you have to squib. You got to do a good old-fashioned squib kick right here. Just boot this thing, knuckleball. Yeah, you definitely don't do that. Definitely don't do this. Yeah, that was dumb. You got lucky there. That was a special teams whoopsie poopsie. Wow. All right. Struggled offensively, but we'll see what KOC can figure out in the second half. I would say if you're Minnesota, you are happy this is a 4-point game. If you are Chicago, you are, you definitely feel like you should have more offensively because Caleb Williams played pretty well. Yeah, I drafted CeeDee Lamb 3rd overall in my league. I won my first week 1-0 thanks to Josh Allen. So, you gotta get him how you can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good stuff, huh? Monday night Skrmetta kicks off week 1. First half, we had a little bit of technical difficulties here. Had to do some stuff in the studio, so we are going to make this a first half stream. Nice solid hour and 15 minutes hanging out with the dogs. Much appreciated. Thank you for hanging out with me during the first half. Videos will be on the channel per usual this week. Dropped 2 today and the live stream. Unbelievable scenes. We've got multiple videos coming up for the rest of the week. Get to the store, get you a hat, get you a shirt, get you a mug. Tomorrow we're going to be breaking down on the channel a lot of the metrics we talked about here today. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Enjoy the second half of the game. Go freaking Vikings. Got the Vikings on the money line. I hope you all win your fantasy matchups. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow in a video, 11 a.m. Be there or be square. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.